This July 18th, 2024 meeting of the Dublin City Council is hereby called to order. I'd ask for Councilman Sarah Colby to provide our invocation. Please remain standing after the invocation for the pledge to the flag.
Our God, we just come to you so thankful and grateful for this time that we have to make decisions. We pray for wisdom and your direction, Lord, in each decision that we make. And Lord, I want to say a special just appreciation and thank you, Lord, for the rain and the cooling off that we've had this week. And thank you for keeping everyone safe. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you for coming to our meeting this evening. We're going to begin tonight's meeting with a special presentation. I'd ask for our Mayor Pro Tem Tess Godfrey and our City Manager Josh Powell to give us information on the special presentation.
Tonight we're going to recognize our employee of the fourth quarter for 2023, and we're pleased to announce that Tanisha Burns of the City of Dublin Police Department is the employee of the fourth quarter for 2023.
Hello.
Come on up, Tanisha. While she's coming up, I'll read a little bit. Narcotics agent Tanisha Burns began employment with the City of Dublin on September 29th, 2016. Agent Burns began in the Patrol Division and quickly moved over to the Narcotics Division, where she rapidly learned the responsibilities of a narcotics agent. Agent Burns actively obtains and investigates narcotics intelligence from citizens, confidential informants, law enforcement officers, and the State of Georgia Probation and Parole Division, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, and the FBI. Agent Burns diligently investigates, or her investigations have led to numerous search warrants and prosecution of suspects in the state and federal judicial circuits. Not only does Agent Burns fulfill her responsibilities as a narcotics agent, she consistently assists the Patrol Division with calls for service when needed and serves outstanding warrants. Agent Burns is currently tasked with maintaining the gang-related intelligence that will assist in the prosecution of gang-related offenses. Agent Burns took on the responsibilities associated with Crime Stoppers and identifies persons that have outstanding state warrants that have been deemed difficult to locate. The individual profiles are submitted to an independent citizen board by Agent Burns, which in turn give the public the power to speak up and stop the crime. The program encourages citizens of the community to assist local law enforcement agencies in the fight against crime. Anyone with information about the fugitives can submit a tip anonymously without fear of retaliation. This information provided to Crime Stoppers must be followed up in an attempt to apprehend the subject. Agent Burns also maintains the Dublin Police Department Crime Stoppers Facebook page and monitors the Dublin Police Department Crime Text Cellular Telephone Program, which is a program that allows members of the public to anonymously report crimes. Agent Burns continues to fulfill her responsibilities as a narcotics agent, and she continuously goes above and beyond her required responsibilities to assist other members and functions of the department. She is a very deserving employee for this award, so congratulations, Tanisha, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Agent Burns. You are making a positive difference in our community, and we appreciate your service.
Thank you.
We're now going to start with our first item on the agenda, which is the approval of our June 20th, 2024 City Council meeting minutes. Do we have a motion? We have a motion from Councilman Griggs.
Second.
A second from Councilman Jones. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 2 on the agenda, which is approval of bills over $15,000. Mr. Powell.
Council has a copy of all the bills in their packet.
Any questions regarding the bills? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to pay the bills.
We have a motion from Councilman Smith, a second from Councilman Godfrey. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 3, which is approval of purchases over $15,000. We have one item, which is crosswalk signage for Moore Street. Mr. Powell.
The council has received comments from citizens, and I know some council members have brought to my attention the need for a safer way for pedestrians to cross Moore Street to get from the north side of Moore Street down to the Stubbs Park area. and then vice versa to get back. So we have requested a quote and received that from Moy Electric for the installation of a pedestrian crosswalk sign and the associated signage that goes with that to be installed right there, as you can see, on North Calhoun at Westmore Street. And this will hopefully make it much safer for people to get across and to enter and exit Stubbs Park. The total cost is $17,200, and we ask that council approve this purchase.
All right, do we have any questions for staff regarding this item? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Jones, second from Councilman Godfrey. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We'll look forward to having that pedestrian safety. Well, what's the timeline for the implementation of it? Do we know?
Materials have to be ordered, there's usually about 3 to 4 months lead time for those.
3 to 4 months for the materials? All right, so by the end of the year? Okay, great. All right, thank you for that information, Mr. Bradshaw.
Badcock Home Furniture and More is your home store, where you'll find great savings on new living room sets, sofas, love seats, recliners, and more. Badcock Home Furniture and More has great savings every day on bedding and bedroom sets. Shop Badcock Home Furniture and More for a great selection of dining room sets, and save every day on electronics and appliances at Badcock Home Furniture and More, 1927 Highway 441 South in Dublin. Call 275-3144 for more information, or stop by and see Wendy and Tim Sumner or any of their friendly staff today at Badcock and More Home Furniture Store, where no credit is ever refused.
We invite y'all to come down to Holy Smokes Barbecue, Dublin's fresh everyday barbecue source. 1100 Hillcrest Parkway, 272 Ribs. You can place your orders online, dublinbbq.com. We're all about faith, family, and friends. And remember, life's too short to eat bad barbecue. We're so thankful for you, Dublin. You guys have been so good to us, and we just want to invite you guys just to come on and experience what we think good barbecue is.
We'll now move to item number 4 on the agenda, which is discussion and action on a resolution for in-car cameras for our patrol vehicles. I know that our police chief was here earlier
I think he's out in the hall.
Okay, yeah, he's out in the hall now. Mr. Powell, would you like to go through this item for us?
Sure. This is Resolution 2432, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin, Georgia, approving a contract with Axon Enterprises Incorporated for a 60-month service and equipment agreement concerning Axon Fleet 3 cameras and equipment for the City of Dublin Police Department, to authorize the Mayor and City Clerk to execute the same, set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. We, through a grant we received, purchased, the council may remember purchasing body cameras for the police department, as well as tasers and an interview room. And we budgeted this year to replace the existing in-car dash cameras that we have due to a need to update that system. And we wanted to go with Axon as well. Axon is the provider for the body cameras and the tasers, and so this system will integrate nicely with the existing body camera system that we have. The annual price is $122,193.60, and staff recommends you approve the requisition, the resolution.
All right, as we discussed at pre-council, this is forward-based and rear-based cameras for each of the patrol vehicles, and the cameras have a integrated license plate reader system that will integrate into the Flock LPR system for identifying missing persons or wanted persons or issues with any vehicles that are stopped. Do we have any questions or other comments from council at this time? Questions for staff?
All of our vehicles?
Well, all the patrol vehicles, I believe, is
Got a question.
all of the patrol vehicles.
Chief Moon, do you mind coming forward,
It's-
and just in case we've got some questions from council members? The first question was, what vehicles are covered by this system?
It's for 40 patrol vehicles, so these are marked units that it'll be in, not unmarked units.
Question, with all these, the different technologies we're purchasing for the police department, are we seeing a decrease in crime?
I'm sorry?
With all the different technologies we've been purchasing for the police department, are we seeing a slight decrease in crime, or how's it going? Okay.
And
And is this making it better for recruiting officers? by having all this extra equipment?
I don't know so much about recruiting, but I know it's cutting their investigation times down by 2/3 most of the time, so.
And while you're here, you know, we funded the gunshot detection system for the 6-month trial program. Can you give us an update? And I understand that you had messaged our city manager about a new case with that. Can you just tell us
Yes.
updates on that?
We've been working with Flock since we installed it right before the beginning of July. And like I said before, the system has to learn the acoustics of the city. And we have found some false reads on it. And what we do is when we find those false reads, like we found one where one of the microphones was next to a house that was being built. And every now and then it would pick up a nail gun. So what we've done is took that audio file, sent it to Flock, and they upload it, and we haven't had any more. So it's constantly learning. The Big Bang at Steel Fab, we had to feed that in. We were getting that. It was setting it off. So we had to feed that into the system and let it learn from it. And we haven't had any more of those. So we're working with them, fine-tuning the system. We did make the first arrest on a shooting at 815 North Church Street, and I'm actually working on one now on Duncan Street that happened a couple of days ago.
What happened at the Duncan? Are you able to talk about the Duncan Street incident? Was that just a gunfire incident?
Yes, it was just a gunfire incident.
So can you tell us what happened with that one?
I happened to be on Moore Street, and my computer went off, and me and a couple more officers went over there, started talking to residents. They pointed out where it come from, but we're still interviewing and trying to get some video from it right now. So,
Great. All right. Any other questions? No, we've got Chief Moon here. He's on the hot seat. So y'all have any questions for him? All right. I appreciate you coming and talking and leading this, these technology initiatives. Are there any questions from council for any staff? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it looks like everybody wants to make this motion. I heard Councilman Colby on the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Griggs. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Chief Moon.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to item number 5 on the agenda, which is, let's see, it goes on the pages. This is a resolution to approve an agreement with Thomas and Hutton regarding Madison Street Streetscape Project Observation Services. Mr. Powell.
Resolution 2433, a resolution by the mayor and city council of the city of Dublin to approve an addendum number 1 to a contract with Thomas and Hutton Engineering Company for the improvement to Madison Street, to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. The addendum for this contract is to add services for construction observation now that construction is underway. And Thomas and Hutton designed this project for us. We feel it's important to have them here to make sure that the contractor we've engaged is completing the project to spec. And also they'll be evaluating the pay applications and reviewing to make sure the work has been performed and is appropriate for payment. This is for 10 hours a week over the next 6 months as the project progresses, and we ask that council approve this for us.
All right. I know that we've got a representative from Thomas Hutton here. If there are any questions from council members regarding this project, anybody need to ask Joel any questions? All right. If not, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Brown, a second from Councilman Jones. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
All right, boys, if you want to go to college, you have to clear out another one of these.
What if we told you there was a better way to save for your kids' college than pickle jars? Morris Bank's Savings Builder account and Moolah makes saving for your kids' college easier than ever. All you have to do is connect the account to your debit card, where it automatically rounds up your purchases to the nearest dollar, depositing that spare change into a moolah account where it will grow into a nice little nest egg for whatever your kids have their sights set on.
Okay, thank you for coming this evening. We'll now move to item number 6, which is discussion and action on a resolution to engage a landscape architect for city park services. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2434, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin to authorize the city manager to engage the services of a landscape architect for the design of Stubbs and Springdale parks, to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement for said services, to set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. We've done our parks master plan and have conceptual plans for both Stubbs and Springdale, well, all the parks. And council's priority list had Stubbs and Springdale at the top of that list. We're already working on Hilburn and Pritchett Park at this point in time, and need to get Stubbs and Springdale designed out to a level where we can have construction documents to provide to a contractor to start doing work. And now those will have to be done in phases, but we want to go ahead and design out the whole, both of those parks completely, based on funding availability. And so staff's been in contact with Orion Planning and Design, which has been very beneficial for the city, and worked on some projects here, including the Martin Luther King Memorial, Jackson Street Plaza, and most recently has helped us with designing a plan for our Connect Dublin plan, which we just received a $1.5 million notice of award of a $1.5 million grant to do a planning grant for that. So we would like to engage with them. We're waiting on a proposal to be submitted. We'll review that, get with the Parks Committee, let them evaluate it, and share that with the full council, and then have a contract in place to start this project moving forward. I guess this is the appropriate time to point out too, as the public may know, we've had, as a part of our Parks Master Plan, there were 2 concepts that were done for Stubbs Park. One included keeping Stubbs Gym, and one included a concept where Stubbs Gym is removed. And so the council has instructed staff, we will have on our next agenda on August the 1st, a time for citizens to come in and give comments on their opinions about Stubbs Gym, to give some feedback for the city council. And then at our August 15th council meeting, we'll bring it back for the city council to decide which concept they'd like to proceed forward with.
All right, so we discussed this pretty extensively in pre-council. Are there any questions for staff at this time?
I just want to confirm that those design and that proposal will be brought to the Parks Committee for the final approval before
Yes,
we.
that's right.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Can we get a copy of those designs?
What now?
Can I get a copy of those designs?
Once they're designed, you send them out to council.
Yeah, so so right now, all we have is the concept plans.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
talking
then-
about, the concept with the gym and the concept without the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could send you an update. Yeah.
Okay. And, just as an aside, the concept plans are at a relatively high level of concept. And for example, I think after those concept plans were done, engineering identified a sewer line, that goes through the Stubbs Park area. So the location of the proposed pond wouldn't exactly be what's shown on the concept plan. So it's more the idea that there will be a pond in this area. But part of what the landscape architect will do is take some of these specific utilities and elevations and other infrastructure issues and make sure that the plan can be implemented. But if you could, Mr. Powell, just recirculate the 2 concept plans for Stubbs to the council members, and maybe.
Well, I'll say they're on our website. Mm-hmm. The whole Parks Master Plan is on our website, and anybody can go look and click through it. I believe it's on the Planning and Development Department page, and you can find it very easily on there and scroll through and see all the concepts, including both concepts for Stubbs. So.
Okay.
Is that also still on the Dublin Parks website as well, the
Yeah, it is
dublinparks.com?
that. The link on our web page is to that website.
Okay, great.
Could we ask since they're doing the landscape plan and all of that, you mentioned issues, could they give us a plan without a pond?
a landscape plan that does not include a pond? Just,
Agreed.
'cause the public may not want a pond. So if they come in and express their opinion and say they do not want a pond there in a neighborhood, in a residential area, so we just gonna go against what they say, oh, cause this was in there.
Well, the full council voted to approve the concept plans that were presented, I think it was a couple months ago, and we had discussion at that time about what was in the various concept plans. Now, we did say at that time that whatever final plan has to be approved by council at that point. So there, you know, if there's a significant issue, then it could be brought back up. But at this point, the concept plans show the pond in there.
I understand what you were saying, Mayor, but what I'm saying is, I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the public probably like me, I overlooked the pond in one of them. I thought that with the one with that had the gym did not have a pond. So they may have been like me, just thinking it was just one pond. I overlooked it looking at the concept design. So they may have overlooked it. But if you get enough people come in here and say they do not want a pond in a residential area, we just as elected officials gonna overlook, yo, we already done voted on this, this is what we gonna do. We didn't have we voted to redo our marketing and redo that design until the public came and said they didn't want it. And then we had to go back and redo it. All I'm saying is, could we have a backup just in case?
Well, I think
we done set a precedent already by doing that.
So at our next meeting, if you'd like to make a motion to add that to the agenda for
Yes.
to add to the scope of work, then you can
Correct.
make that motion and
Okay.
we'll address it at that time. All right, so at this time, we have we voted on item 6? Did we?
No.
All right, so at this time, do we have a motion related to the item 6 resolution?
Motion for approval.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Griggs. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Councilman Godfrey. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 7 on the agenda, which is discussion and action on a resolution to approve an agreement with Altera Networks for data backup support. Mr. Powell.
Sure. Resolution 2435, a resolution by the mayor and council of the city of Dublin, Georgia, to approve an agreement with Altera Networks for data backup services, to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, set an effective date and for other lawful purposes. Altera has for a while provided data backup for us and done a very good job. Mr. Robert Jefferson, our director of telecommunications, is very satisfied with their services. And this is to keep our data safe and secure and backed up so that if we had the unforeseen happen, we'd be able to recoup all that data. This is for a 1-year contract that has 2 1-year automatic renewals. And the total price for the first year is $25,732.80. That does include an updated appliance that's needed at this time. And then thereafter, the annual cost is $16,750.80.
All right. Our city's IT director, Mr. Jefferson, is here for any questions that council members may have about this purchase item. Anybody have any questions? All right, you're off the hook. So do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Oh, second.
We have a motion from Councilman Colby and a second from Councilman Mascara. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
From humble beginnings with a desire to serve the Dudley community, Bank of Dudley has grown to 5 locations, serving Lawrence, Twiggs, and surrounding counties. Serving our community since 1905, the Bank of Dudley is looking forward to its 2nd century of community banking. Drop in today to any of our 5 locations: Jeffersonville, Dudley, East Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, and downtown Dublin. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space. So hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
All right, we'll now move to item number 8, which is an intergovernmental agreement with the Dublin Lawrence Recreation Authority regarding funding for the water park. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2436, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin, Georgia, approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Dublin-Lawrence County Recreation Authority for a 4-year tiered funding of capital improvements for Southern Pines Water Park, to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. Heather, help me remember to get that resolution corrected there. It should be 4-year. At our strategic planning, the council instructed staff to work on an agreement to provide funding for the Rec Authority to help them with capital improvements for the Southern Pines Water Park. And this will also terminate the existing water park agreement that we have with them. As the public may recall, the city largely funded the cost of building the water park to begin with, and so we entered into an agreement at that time with the Rec Authority whereby the city was entitled to the profits from the operations of the water park. We've kind of gone through that timeline now, and would like to provide some capital improvement funding, and so we're going to terminate the existing agreement and enter into a new agreement that provides tiered funding over the next 4 years. That's $150,000 for FY25, $150,000 for FY26, $100,000 for FY27, and $50,000 for FY28.
All right, so, and we've discussed this, but for the water park to be successful, I think everybody agrees that they have to continue to be able to add new features and invest in the facility. So this would provide $450,000 over the next 4 years for that, in addition to the city releasing any profits from this year, anything that's in the reserve fund, which is probably roughly another $50,000. So I think this will go a long ways to helping that water park remain viable for the near future. Do we have any discussion on this?
I think our two Rec Authorities,
Yes.
I believe the Rec Authorities already approved this, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so as the public may know, Councilman Mascara and Councilman Smith are our representatives, along with our Tiffany Stanley, to the Recreation Authority, and they helped put this agreement together. The Rec Authority's already approved it, so this time we have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Mascara, a second from Councilman Smith. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. All right, we'll move now to item number 9, which is a resolution authorizing the city manager to approve contracts related to the industrial sewer project. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2437, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin, Georgia, to authorize the city manager to approve the engagement of contractors for the purpose of adjusting conflicting utilities as a part of the industrial sewer project, to set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. As you know, we've engaged RPI Underground to complete the industrial sewer project, which is an $8 million project that extends and replaces the existing sewer line that runs behind YKK and will eventually serve the Highway 257 industrial site. As they've gone along, as with any infrastructure project that's under the ground, of course we run into issues and things that have to be addressed. And there have been a few conflicts with existing water lines, and one potential issue with a gas line that will need to be addressed. In order to timely address those and keep the project moving and meet the deadlines that we have in place, and not delay the project, I'm asking for approval to deal with those issues. The council's already given me authority to approve change orders with the contractor on the project, but some of these will be able to utilize some savings by engaging with a contractor independent of them ourselves. And so we'd like to have that authority to do that as needed throughout the course of the project. We do have some monies available to cover this expense through some contingency money that was built into the price of the contract, as well as money from the GFA loans that we have. So to the extent that they're available, we'll use those, and then if they're not, we will utilize water funds to cover this project.
All right. This is just the surprises of any time you start digging on a utility project. So do we have any discussion or questions regarding this? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Brown. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of approving the resolution authorizing the city manager to approve these contracts, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Let's move to item number 10, which is a resolution authorizing the city manager to approve a contract with ABS for wastewater treatment services. Mr. Powell.
This is Resolution 2438, a resolution by the Mayor and Council of the City of Dublin authorizing the city manager to negotiate a contract for biofermentation services for the wastewater treatment plant with ABS Inc. to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the same, to set an effective date, and for other lawful purposes. ABS has for a number of years provided us with biological solutions to treatment of wastewater at our wastewater treatment plant. And they actually have a facility down there that is built into the price of this, that they reduce our price by, that they use down there at the wastewater treatment plant. And we wish to continue their services. They haven't increased their pricing on us in 7 years. And as they've gone through and looked at their costs, they've expressed us a need to go up on those prices slightly. So what you have in your materials is a draft of an agreement. There's some final language that our staff attorney is working to get included in there. And that's why it's set out that you're authorizing me to approve the contract. But it will be substantially in the form as the contract you have in your materials. But the annual price is $171,000 for this year, which is $14,500 a month. This service is instrumental in helping with our wastewater treatment process, and Tony Brazil, our water utility director, is asking for approval for this.
All right, so Mr. Brazil, our director, was here earlier and answered some questions about how this process works and what the need for this treatment service is. So I appreciate him coming in and answering those questions earlier. Do we have any additional questions for staff at this time?
Anybody that would like any details on wastewater treatment is welcome to come have a tour of the wastewater treatment plant, and you can smell the odors and do whatever you'd like.
All right, so if there are no questions, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Colby, a second from Councilman Jones. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, we have handled streets, public safety, parks, IT, water, and sewer. Now we are to our last item, which is declaration of surplus. Mr. Powell.
We have some lovely items that are premium steel on Gov Deals, or will be soon. And several of these are vehicles. There's actually a street sweeper test. I just want to point that out to you. It may not run when you crank it, but might be able to get it going. Got a couple of dump trucks, some crew cab vehicles, and passenger van from the golf course, some water fittings and meters, and we're going to get rid of the silver storage building at Shamrock Station, so that's being surplus. Yep. Jay Roy tried to grab it for the golf course, but I wouldn't let him have it.
Nope.
I thought he would buy something new. And anyway, and then one zero-turn mower. That's a water meter and some fittings. There's your building.
Zero turn didn't work.
We wouldn't be getting rid of it.
It could have been.
I'll say, just as an aside, the storage building was at the Northside Fire Station, and when we, this is several years ago, but when council, including all the new council members, Shamrock, I said Northside, the Shamrock Fire Station, when we did a tour of that facility, we found out that the officers were, this was their weight room. And
Air conditioned.
And it's a storage building. So that was one of the things that prompted us to ask staff to look at doing improvements to the Shamrock Fire Station. And then that building hadn't had renovations for over 40 years. So it was great that we took that tour, saw what was happening, and responded to it. And we'll have a ribbon cutting for the Shamrock Fire Station. When is that ribbon cutting?
On the 25th at 10 a.m.
So that's July 25th at 10 a.m. And it all came about initially because of that storage building right there. So do we have any questions regarding the declaration of surplus? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion from Councilman Griggs and a second from Councilman Mascara. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
The weather's heating up here in Middle Georgia, and the deals are hot at Dublin Nissan. So when you come in, look for the red tag specials like this Nissan Altima or the new restyled 2024 Frontier. So come into Dublin Nissan during our red tag sale and take advantage of 0% financing or up to $10,000 savings off of MSRP.
At Dublin Nissan, get rates as low as 0% for 36 months on the Pathfinder.
And remember, Don sells Nissans well, only at Dublin Nissan.
Quality products and installations since 1985. That's 4 Seasons.
Now it's time for citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens who would like to make comments? Please come forward. Need some help?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just a comment to you, Councilman Jones. Google Stubbs Park, 1907, built by the Berkmans, Augusta National, and they also had water. The plan was for a waterway. My 3 minutes haven't started yet, has it? Well, I just Googled it, and it takes me a minute to go into what I want to comment about today, which will probably get me one out of Dublin.
I'm the celebrity spokesperson for Z. You witness the local news, sports, and events from all over the country.
What,
But
Miss
Z
Wright,
speaks
Miss
for
Wright.
itself. Doesn't need a celebrity
This is,
spokesperson to tell you
we can't do playing audio. If this is time, if you have any comments.
No,
you
this
can-
is the comment that I want to talk about. It was something that you all voted on.
I'm sorry, if you can please. All right.
Dublin City Council has made the decision not to move a Confederate monument in downtown Dublin by a 6-1 vote, and this was done on November 9th, 2020. By a 6-1 vote, the City Council voted to keep the Confederate monument downtown. They also plan to honor a prominent black businessman and civil rights activist, Herbert Hub Dudley. Supporters of the monument we talked to welcome this vote. We are pleased that they are honoring worthy of respect, and we are even pleased. So my comment is, if we can go back to September 12th, 2020, I don't know if you all approve to have that monument, the Confederate monument is to stay. I already know that. I did my research on that. But it seems as if in that meeting that night, they also approved to have a monument made of Horatio Dudley. And that's my comment. If we want to continue as a community, we can't just look at the Confederate side of things about the Civil War, who the Confederates wanted to enslave all the black people and hang us by our necks. So if I get hung by my neck by asking that, can we please look into the archives and find out what happened to the monument that's supposed to be going into, and it's supposed to be renamed, that area up there to something, if I had been able to play the other part. But anyway, at that time, it would be a plaza named the area Herbert Hub Dudley Unity Plaza. City Manager Lance Jones says one idea is citing a life-size bronze statue of Dudley. Right now, city leaders are still planning how the plaza should look. So somewhere in the archives is a plan to change that whole plaza around. And that's my comment for tonight.
All right, thank you for that comment. Do we have any other comments this evening?
know who I am by now. I'm Vonda Morton, proud 8th generation native of the sovereign state of Georgia and the occupied South. Before I do anything else, I'd like to take a moment to remember Junior Scarborough, a former council member. He took good care of me when he worked at the Claxton Lawrence Ford place as a council member. He made sure I had the information and resources that I needed when I covered the council for the paper, and basically he was good people. He's one of a kind. And I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge his contributions to this city and county. And y'all know the drill by now. I pledge allegiance to the Georgia flag and to the principles for which it stands: wisdom, justice, moderation, and courage.
Thank you for that comment. Is there anyone else who is here tonight who would like to make a comment? Any other citizens' comments this evening? All right, with no other citizens' comments, we'll now move into council comments. After council comments, we will adjourn into executive session to discuss real estate, pending litigation, or personnel, and I believe it will be just real estate this evening. So at this time, we will have any comments from our city attorney, Mr. Groover.
No comment, Mayor.
Our clerk, Ms. Browning. All right. Councilman Brown, would you like to make any comments this evening?
I'd just like to thank everybody for being here, and I did have the opportunity to serve with Junior Scarborough for 4 years, and there's no doubt he was one of a kind, and he'll be sorely missed. Lived a long life. I think he passed away. He was 94 years old. So anyway, prayers and thoughts to his family.
All right, thank you for that. Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out, and send my condolences out to the Scarborough family, and congratulations to Miss Heath on her award for Employee of the Quarter. And just as citizens, as you come on out, don't be afraid to voice your opinion. I do admire Miss Martin. We sit there, and it may be a norm, but one thing about it, she's coming forth and she's constantly voicing her opinion. And that's how you get stuff did. You come and voice your opinion, and get it did, be consistent about it, and so that's how you get things done. You normally drop the ball, so we say, hey, let's look at, we want change in our community. We got to be the change agent. We can only do so much up here, but we make decisions. It may not be what the public want. You can't be afraid to come and say, no, let's back up, and this is what we want, this is what we want. So come express your opinion. And a lot of things are going on in Dublin. We got a lot of the parts, look around, playground equipment getting did. I know people, I gotten phone calls. That's just phase one. So the other parts are gonna get did. I've gotten phone calls about other parts of my ward, and so they are seeing, and the citizens are noticing. But that's just phase one. Other things are coming. We're not gonna stop with just those parts. So just be patient, and let's continue to work together, and don't be afraid to talk about it, and let's have these conversations. Thank you.
All right, thank you for those comments, Councilman Jones. Councilman Godfrey, any comments this evening?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. I would like to send a special shout out for all those who are watching via live stream, especially Pastor Jeffrey Woods, a community leader in Farmersville, Louisiana. Also, I would like to say way to go to Sonia Mae Calvin and Mr. Clifford Cruz on the Land Bank's outstanding open house yesterday, and also shouts out to Purple Dog Properties for what they're doing. And kudos to Tara Bradshaw, our city planner, and her staff, code enforcement, because they're doing a lot of hard work. And I just thank them, and I appreciate all of our staff. And thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Godfrey. Councilman Colby.
I just wanted to notice tonight that most of our agenda items were on unseen things. And I think a lot of times when we're looking around our community, it seems like things are moving slow or slow progress. But a lot of that reason is that a lot of the things that are happening are behind the scenes or under the ground. So we've seen infrastructure changes and bio bugs at our wastewater treatment plant, patrol cameras, and data storage, and all of those things are necessary for the betterment and the safety of our community. So we just thank you for continuing to cheer our city on. It might be summer, but the momentum is still going, and it's going strong. Exciting news with the Shamrock Fire Station ribbon cutting and the land bank presentation yesterday. So we're excited to see what the next couple of months hold. Hang in there and keep pushing forward.
And I'm hanging in there because I went to Chicago and I saw that infrastructure and those roads. Yeah, we're doing excellent in Dublin, Georgia. So, yeah, thank you.
Last thing is, make sure you get your tickets for the Music Man. That it opens next Thursday night. So if you want to support arts in our community, you've got an opportunity this next week.
Well, and I'll just add on one thing. You talked about infrastructure. At our upcoming meetings, we've gotten some additional money for road resurfacing, so we'll add some additional streets for resurfacing in the city. So we're continuing to work on those three things that I always talk about, which are potholes, parks, and police. And those are sort of the backbone of what makes a good city. So any comments, Councilman Griggs?
No additional comments.
All right, thank you. Councilman Smith?
I just want to thank everyone for coming. Congratulate Ms. Burns on the Employee of the Quarter. And I just want to acknowledge that we also have, I believe, 12U team from Legacy Sports that's going to the World Series. They doing, I want to say, a send-off either this Friday or next Friday at Southern Pine. So congratulations to that team that's going to the World Series. And everyone stay safe and cool.
All right, thank you, Councilman Smith. Councilman Mascara?
Y'all have said it all. No comment.
All right. Mr. Powell, any comments this evening?
No comments. Just I'll just say I do condolences to the Scarborough family. The funeral I know will be tomorrow at Pine Forest Methodist Church at 11 o'clock. And I'm thankful for him for his service. I'm a fellow church member of his, so I always enjoyed speaking with him about the history of the city and city council. So, thank you.
All right, at this time, we need a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss real estate.
So moved.
We have a motion from Councilman Mascara, a second from Councilman Brown. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.